Last lesson we talked about how to use collecting like terms to solve linear equation. And this class we're going to elaborate the knowledge to talk about some complex questions. But firstly, let's do some revision. Okay. Now we use a very simple questions to start. For example, if you have 2x, take with 6 equals 9. Now for those questions yesterday we said we want your solution to be x equals a format. Alright, I want to know what is the value of x, so x equals a. Now in order to get this format, I want all the x on left hand side and all the numbers, all the values on right hand side, and then I can have the value of x. To make that, I have to do some movement. For example, this question. Now if I have 2x, that is the x term, I want to keep that on the left hand side. So 2x will not be changed. So I still write 2x. So this one is a number, it's like the a. So I want to move this number to the right. And also I need to follow, I move, I change. I move, I change. I want everyone to remember that. Okay? So something you move to the left and something you move to the right. So for the number, they have to be moved to the right. Okay, so here equals 9 plus 6. Move, change. This is take with 6. Here I have to change into addition. So that is plus 6. Okay, we do the calculation. 2x equals 15, and then x equals 15 divided by 2. Because this side we have 2 lots of x, 2 times x. And then I move 2 to the right, I have to change. So this is multiplication, I have to change that into division. Very good. Okay, now this is one easy question. And also, if you have the fraction as a coefficient, then everything remains the same. Now for example, if we have half x take with 6 equals 7. This question. Now I still have to think x equals a format. I want x on left hand side, so left hand side, and I move 6 to the right hand side equals 7. Do not move, so you leave that. I move 6 to the right. I need to change the sign into plus 6. So half x equals, we calculate that 13, and then x equals. Now a lot of students will make mistakes here because they still divide by 2. That is not correct. Let's have a look. This side you have half x, and also I can interpret that into x divided by 2. So if this step is x divided by 2, I move 2, and then I have to change the operation. So your calculation should be 13 times by 2. So this step divide by 2, and this step you need to times by 2. Okay, so the answer is 26. Now let's have a look at some a little bit more complex questions, like 9 take with 3y equals 5y plus 5. Now let's look at this question. Now last lesson we said if we have this kind of equation, it doesn't matter what is the question. And you always think I want x equals a format, which means x on the left hand side, a values on right hand side. Now I have got y on both sides. That means I have to move y on the left. Alright, see my gesture. Move y on the left. Numbers on the right. Please remember this. Okay? Move and move. Alright, so I do not move negative 3y. You need to remember this is negative 3y. So I have to leave that and change. So negative 3y. And then I move 5y. So it's positive 5y, here is negative 5y. Right hand side, this is 5, do not move, I write that, I move 9 to the right. So that will be take with 9. This is called move terms. Okay, we have to move terms. Now, when we move terms, we have to follow I move, I change. I move, I change. Okay, good. Now, the next step is collecting like terms. Now, on the left-hand side, we have y terms, so they are like terms. Right-hand side, we have constant terms, they are like terms, so we can collect like terms. Okay. Now, we can collect like terms. Negative 3y take away 5y is negative 8y equals right hand side 5 take away 9 is negative 4. So the next step is we have to find out x. Now this question is y. We want to find out the value of y, so we need to divide by negative 8 because this is negative 8 times y, so I need to divide by negative 8. So this step is called make the coefficient 1. Okay, so we always follow these steps. Move terms, collect like terms, and make the coefficient 1. So y equals. Now for this question, I have to divide by negative 8. So that will be negative 4 divided by negative 8. So y equals negative divided by negative is positive, and then we do the cancellation. This is 1, this is 2. So the answer is 1 over 2. Now I need to remind you, for this step, we have to divide by negative 8 on both sides. So we have to write negative 4 divided by negative 8. So the negative 8 should be at the bottom as the denominator. It's not negative 8 divided by negative 4. I need to remind you this part. Okay? Now, and also, if you have the fraction as a coefficient, everything remains the same. For example, half x take away 6 equals, let's say, 3 over 4x. Okay? For this question, let's have a look. You have the fraction as a denominator. The thinking is exactly the same. So you still think I need x equals a format. Would it be possible to move this x to the left? Yes, good. So we can do half x. Now move and change. And also number should be moved to the right. So negative 6 is 6 on the right hand side. And move, I change. Okay? Now this one means we move terms. Now the next step is collect like terms. We need to collect like terms. They are like terms, we can do the calculation. So for this one, the fraction calculation, we need the same denominator because this is subtraction. So same denominator, that will be 2 over 4. I times 2 on the top, I times 2 at the bottom to make that the same denominator. So 2 over 4x, take away 3 over 4x equals 6. Now we can continue. So it's a smaller number, take with a big number. You end up with negative x over 4. 2 take away 3 is negative 1. So that's negative 1x over 4 equals 6. Now the last step is to make the coefficient 1. So this coefficient is negative 1 over 4. So I need to times negative 4 on both sides. Times negative 4 on both sides to get rid of the denominator. So we have x equals negative 24. So this is the answer. Now as we can see, it doesn't matter you have the whole number as the coefficient or the fraction as the coefficient. The way of solving equations is exactly the same. And also, when we have the complex questions, and more steps will be involved. Now, today, let's have a look at solving linear equation with bracket. With brackets. Okay, let's have a look at this question. example 1. 2x take away x plus 10 equals 5x plus 2, x take away 1. Now for this question we can see the writing is more complex, but we still have to think about x equals a format. Alright? It doesn't matter what is the equation like, you always think my solution should be x equals a format. Now, currently I've got a bracket, so it's impossible I move x to the left because it's like the house, they are in the house, so I cannot move that. Now, according to your prior knowledge, the very first step is we have to expand all the terms to get rid of the bracket. Okay? So, this is our first step. Remove brackets. Okay? We remove brackets. We will have 2x. Okay. This bracket is nothing in the front, no number in the front. So according to the rule we have learned, there's a negative sign in the front. So we have to change all sign inside the bracket. So x is negative x now. And then 10 is negative 10 now. Good. Equals 5x plus, for this one we have the coefficient in the front. So I have to do the expanding. 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times negative 1. I still have to emphasize negative, so it's negative 2. Now, we rewrite this equation by removing the brackets. Now I've got the new equation here. And then we can see we have prenumerous. Alright, the x unknown on both sides. So we have to move. Alright, please remember Mr. Huang's gesture. Move to this side. Move number to the right hand side. Okay? So we call that move terms. Okay, you need to move them. Okay, move terms. Now if I move terms, I will have 2x take away x, take away 5x. And then take away 2x equals, we do not move negative 2, so it's still there. I move negative 10 to the right, so that's positive 10. Now, double check. No move, no change. No move, no change. Move, change. Move, change. No move, no change. Move, change. Okay? Now, the next step is collect like terms. Now, all the like terms are here, so we can do the calculation. 2 take away 1 is 1. 1 take away 5 is negative 4. Negative 4 take away 2 is negative 6. Good. So, negative 6x equals 8. And then, the next step is we need x, the coefficient of x, to be 1. Okay, so, coefficient, make that 1. Now this is negative 6 times, so on both sides I have to divide by negative 6. So x equals 8 divided by negative 6. So positive divided by negative is a negative. Don't forget you need to simplify your answer. So x equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the answer is negative 4 over 3. Alright, now I want everyone, you do a question. Okay, now later we're going to do that together, but I want you to do that first. This question, please follow these steps. this question. Now for this question, we have to follow these steps. Firstly, remove bracket. We call that B. Brackets. You have brackets, you move that first. This is your first step. Now, we do not do anything with 3x, so we'll leave that. And then this is negative 7 times x. Please always remember you need to use negative sign. So negative 7 times x is negative 7x. And then negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. Okay, equals 3 is still 3. And then is that 2x or negative 2x? Good, that is negative. Always include the sign. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And then negative 2 times positive 3 is negative 6. Alright, we finished this step. Now we do move terms. Move. Okay, move terms. So I move this term to the left. Remember my gesture. Move, move. Okay, so 3x take with 7x and plus 2x equals 3 take with 6 and then I move 7 to the right. It's take with 7. Good. Collect like terms. Collect like terms. 3 take with 7, negative 4, plus 2, negative 2. 3 take with 6, negative 3. Negative 3 take with 7, negative 10. Alright, the last step, make the coefficient 1. Okay, make the coefficient 1. So, negative 2 times x, I have to divide by negative 2 on both sides. So x equals negative 10 divided by negative 2. So your answer is 5. And I also recommend everyone, you check your answer, you substitute this back to here and check your answer whether it is correct. Okay? So, this is a way when we solve linear equations with the brackets. Please remember these 4 steps. I give you the abbreviations. So B and CC. Please remember this is what we do today. B and CC. Remove bracket, move terms, collect like terms, and coefficient 1.